I want to thank all the shoulders of the strong and brave and courageous women that I am standing on. I am standing on Lena Horne's shoulders. I'm standing on Maya Angelou's shoulders. I'm standing on Diane Carroll and Ruby Dee, and most of all, Billie Holiday. You deserved so much more than you were given when you were on this planet. This is for you, Billie. Thank you so much.
Wow, it gives you chills.
Yeah, welcome back. In today's Spotlight on Broadway, a look back at that 2014 Tonys, one of the most unforgettable moments in Tony Awards history. Singer and actress Audra McDonald collecting her 6th Tony.
She is amazing, and she stands now as the most Tony awarded performer in history. And you can see her back on stage soon in the highly anticipated revival of the Broadway musical Gypsy. We have Broadway theater royalty in the house. Please help us welcome Audra McDonald, everybody. Woo! Good to see you, my friend.
Thank you so much.
I got a little emotional after seeing that. You know, I mean, you can see it over and over again, but it's still fresh and new and good. So, real quick, this is being talked about. So much buzz about this show. Why do you think it's being talked about so much right now, and what can you tell us about it?
Well, you know, this is an iconic musical, Gypsy, written in 1959. It starred Ethel Merman as Mama Rose. But here in 2024, we're doing this revival where it's a black woman now who's playing the titular role of Mama Rose, and with a trio of black actresses. The women who play my daughters are also black in the show, Joy Woods and Jordan Tyson, and it's being directed by the incredible George C. Wolfe.
We have to talk about this character that you're playing, Mama Rose. I mean, that role it's iconic. It's one of the most legendary roles that you can play in musical theater.
It is.
When you got that call, what was your reaction?
Well, when it looked like it was going to be a possibility, I was excited. I was, you know, it was one of those things you think, do I jump off this cliff? Oh, yes, I have to, because, you know, it's just to take on this role and, you know, try and tackle it. You know, it's, as a performer, it's something you have to do it for your soul, knowing full well that, you know, you may flail and fail, but you're going to try and do your best, you know. It's just, it's such a fulfilling role to play.
How monumental is this in the world of Broadway, especially being the first black woman to do that?
Well, you know, we're making history in that respect, and I think in 2024, it's just going to have a different resonance. You know, I think also I keep thinking about Mama Rose, and when I was growing up, and I would think about the character, I think, oh, she was a monster. She was this awful stage mother who did these horrific things to try and get ahead. And I look at her now in the context of 2024 as a single mother of 2 daughters at a time in the world where there were not many opportunities, but she had this great passion and ambition. And so now, I think in 2024, maybe some of her choices were not exactly the best, but I understand this is a woman who wanted more than the best for her children and herself. And in those days, she would have been called a monster, but now I think she's just ambitious and passionate, you know?
The complexities of characters.
Absolutely.
What are you most excited for these audiences to get to see?
Well, I'm excited for a younger, you know, generation to get to know Gypsy, for those who don't know it, and to perhaps see it through this lens. I mean, the wonderful thing is we are not changing a single line of dialogue. We're not changing a single note. You know, it is the show, it is the score, it is the book. But I just feel like it's going to have, you know, a different kind of resonance. And also, it's a universal story of relationships complicated relationships between mother and daughter, and how hard women have to fight in this world. And so I think those things will resonate in a beautiful way.
And speaking of the younger generation, let's talk about some young newcomers, Joy Woods and Jordan Tyson. I know it's amazing to work with you, but what's it been like working with them?
Oh, a joy. Like a joy.
No pun intended.
No, really, no pun intended, but it has been. They are both incredibly talented women who have already started to make a huge splash and a huge name for themselves, you know, on Broadway. And so it inspires me to be in the room with them every day. I think we're all inspired by, you know, being led by George C. Wolfe, who is just an iconic legend in the world of theater and directing, and he's an incredible playwright as well. And so we're all learning from each other and understanding that this is a very special opportunity that we have. And you know, for us too, if representation is everything. If young little kids of color can see us up there and say, oh wow, they're doing it, so I can do it, then that means everything.
And what a pleasure it is to be in the room with you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.